Today we are here with Chris Kyra, the co-owner of the first Makerspace Cafe in all of Canada. Chris, tell us, what is a Makerspace Cafe?
Sure thing, Christina. You think we know what a cafe is? Let me focus on the makerspace part. So makerspace is a place where people come and make things. So everything from laser cutters to 3D printers, you're able to use your creative skills to just make things yourself. So we've combined, for us, a really warm, comfortable cafe environment where you can come and make things. So yeah, my wife and I both love being creative, but we both love cafe culture. So we thought, how can we combine those two things? We thought about maker culture and how 3D printing and laser cutting has become a lot more accessible in recent years. So we started on a journey of learning about it ourselves. We had to go to places that we'd say wouldn't be friendly for the first-time user, like workshops and industrial complexes. We thought, why aren't these kind of machines in really comfortable, warm spaces instead? And so from those industrial shops, we've taken a lot of their fun equipment, brought it into a cafe environment, and it's really where we'd want to spend our time.
Now, for the people watching that may not know what laser cutting is, can you give us a little bit of details about that?
Absolutely. Laser cutter is our favorite kind of toy. It's really a good machine. We work with all kinds of materials for laser cutting. What it does is it uses super hot white light that cuts right through the material or engraves in a beautiful way on top of it. So everything from wood, acrylic, granite, all kinds of nice materials that you can etch or cut with a laser cutter.
And with 3D printing, it's not the most accessible kind of thing. It's a little bit expensive and people don't know where to go to do that.
Yeah.
So why did you create a space where people can come and just immerse themselves in that activity?
Great question. 3D printing, I think, is probably the poster child for the whole maker movement. It's the most popular technology out there. And so we wanted to make sure it was front and center at our cafe, and it is right at the front door. With that in mind, 3D printing, I think, is still a bit of a finicky technology. Prints fail sometimes. They're difficult to get going. So we want to be that bridge between people's first experience with 3D printing and being an experienced 3D printer where you can do it at home on your own.
So another thing I love about this place is you've made it accessible for all people, kids, teens, adults. Why did you do that?
Well, we think making is for everyone, whether it's kids who, believe it or not, know some of this technology better than many adults, all the way through teens who are getting into more complex materials and operations, all the way through to experienced artists who come in to use our tools because they don't have them at home. We wanted to make sure everyone has some kind of activity or thing they can do here.
Tell us about some of the programs you offer for kids here.
Absolutely. Our kids camps are our favorite things to do in terms of workshops. We do kids camps for tons of occasions. So weekly kids camps, PA days and other holidays, winter break and March break, and of course a full summer program which runs full week camps over the course of the whole summer. We have a dedicated space for it outside of the cafe environment, and the kids can get kind of messy, loud, and creative down there, and nothing makes us happier than hearing all that.
I love that. And this place is not only a makerspace, it's a cafe, as in the title of it. Tell us what kind of beverages and baked goods you offer here.
You would think that the cafe space with all we talked about is an afterthought. It's not. It's so focal to what we do here. And so we've partnered with some great local artisans on the food and beverage side, Propeller Coffee, Goûter Bakery. They provide fresh baked goods and locally roasted coffee every day. So whether cappuccino is your drink, a London fog, we've got turmeric, lots of milk alternatives. We want to make sure that when people come in, they have something to sip on or munch on when they're getting creative.
So Chris and I came up with this idea through our own journey of making. We basically started visiting maker spaces to sort of learn about 3D printing and laser cutting. And what we sort of found was that there was a bit of a barrier, or it was a bit intimidating for beginners. So we thought, what's a place that we could create where there's no barrier, where it feels open, it's easy, it's safe for beginners to learn about making.
And now we're here. So I'm excited to dive into the world of laser cutting and 3D printing. What are we making today?
So today, what we're gonna make is a laser cut macaron.
Ooh, so I get to eat it afterwards.
Yes, so what happens is the laser will actually just burn the surface of the macaron, and it creates sort of like a bruleed flavor on top.
Now, this is such a hands-on activity, and COVID being our new reality, how are you ensuring that when people come into this space that they're safe and everything's sanitized?
So, we do frequent sanitization, we do temperature checks, and we do the contact logging. For Usually what we do is people can walk in to do laser cutting or 3D printing. Right now with COVID, it's a little bit better if you can make an appointment. Just things are a little bit slower, and it's just safer that way. That way we can keep the contact tracing as well. In terms of COVID for the workshops, we still are running workshops. They're just smaller class sizes, and the drinks are not able to be consumed inside just because everybody has to keep their masks on. But we still offer the drinks, so you can just take it home with you after the class.
And if people want to come and maybe book a session with you guys, where can they go to do that?
Yeah, so they can go straight to our website. It's themakerbean.com.
Well, I'm ready to try my hand at it, so let's switch sheets and then we can get started.
Sounds good.
All right, Lorraine, where do we start?
Okay, so we're gonna laser a macaron today.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna choose an image or a graphic that you wanna put on the macaron.
Okay, I'm thinking a cat. Gonna give a shout out to my cat Sully back home. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Now these images don't only have to be stock design, but you can actually bring in your own custom design. And we're laser cutting something right now. Let me show you.